What's going on? It's Prototype here. I just drove to the movies on my bike, and I'm about to go see Monsters University. The thing about me is I'm obsessed with Pixar. I never miss a Pixar movie in theaters, and I never miss a premiere of a Pixar movie. There has been 3 instances where I haven't been to the premiere on the day of the premiere. This is one of them. So yeah, like I said, this is one of the premieres that I am missing. I'm going a week later. I swear to God, everything's been trying to stop me from going to see this movie. Nature, everything. So over the weekend I was really busy with stuff. And I had other stuff to do, so unfortunately I couldn't make it, and I was really kind of pissed off or whatever. And then during the week it was crazy too. A lot of stuff coming up, and then the day that I was ready to go, I think it was a Wednesday, all of a sudden it started raining overnight that day. And all my streets started to flood in my town here in Chicago, in the suburbs, the north suburbs of Cook County. That's where it really started heavily pouring down, and all the streets were flooded. So the street that I had to cross to get to the theaters was flooded, and I couldn't go, even on my bike or in a car. They wouldn't let you through. So I'm like, damn it, that's another day. So finally, it's Friday, a week after, and I finally gathered myself to go. Now, unfortunately, I was trying to ride as fast as I could, but I did not make it for the 1245 3D. But I think that's going to be $11. Is it worth paying the $11 to see, it in 3D? And I thought, well, I'm not going to find out, because the next showing is at 3:30. So I decided to go with the 145 showing, the regular 2D version. It doesn't matter, as long as I see the movie itself, I just have to see it. And I'm hoping that the Blue Umbrella will also be a good short clip before that. I think it's Pixar actually trying out new technology, and they're probably going to try to show us that they're trying to innovate animation even more. So I think it's Pixar trying to innovate the way to do their animation, and they're going to show that probably a little bit in the Blue Umbrella. And so I'm really excited about that. I'm really obsessed with Pixar, and I'm ready to see John Goodman play Sully again. It's going to be Mike Wazowski and James P. Sully. I've seen a lot of reviews and previews and trailers, and everyone else says it's almost as good as the first one, maybe better than the first one. I don't know. I'm going to see it for myself, and then I'm going to give you a proper review of the movie and what kind of rating I would give it myself, being a Pixar fanatic. And yeah, so I'm really excited about it. I'm gonna go see Monsters University right now, and I'm gonna tell you what I think about it when it's done. Alright then, let's do it. Myself some good old Auntie Anne's mini pretzel dog bites and popcorn and probably a Coke. And I'm gonna try to get through Monsters University. Hopefully I'll enjoy it, and I'll have a snack, and then I'll exercise my way back home on my bike, cutting down some calories. Alright, come on, let's go see the movie. Oh crap, I got to forget. Alright, I'm back. So now let me give you a proper review of Monsters University. Hands down, 5 out of 5. Better than Monsters Incorporated, and it has a real nice way of tying into Monsters Inc. Now, I was afraid of Monsters University because I wasn't sure what the outcome is. As I was watching the movie, it wasn't really predictable, as I'm saying right now. I mean, a lot of movies, I can tend to predict what's gonna happen. Oh yeah, that's gonna happen, the movie's gonna end this way, blah blah blah. This one, I'm like, is it gonna end this way or this way? And, spoiler alert, warning, skip ahead, spoiler alert. I like the way that they ended the movie with Mike and Sully working in the mail room. I feel like at the beginning when they showed us that mailroom clip, it was like, ha ha ha, the stupid monsters only work in the mailroom. But then at the end, I'm like, so that comes back into play. Oh damn, wow. So that was really exciting. Also, at some times I felt like the movie was jumpy. Now let me explain my jumpy theory. It wasn't that it was jumpy in a bad way, and it wasn't there was cutscenes that were wrong. It's just that sometimes it was real fast. Like I didn't expect, again spoiler alert, warning. I didn't expect that Mike and Randall were gonna be roommates. From the trailers, I had a feeling that it was gonna be, Mike and Sully that were gonna be roommates. How in the preview it said, "Hi, I'm Mike," "Hi, I'm Sully." Mike Wazowski, James P. Sully, they call him Jimmy. He was the son of the legendary Scarer. But then we find out that actually Randall is his roommate. And that he's a real good guy, and he's really fun going at the beginning. And Mike only comes in when he's chasing the pig. And then when the pig goes into the room and starts running around, Sully climbs in the window, and then, the chest falls on him. And that's how they meet. And actually, the first time they meet is in class, not in the dorm room. Mike's in there explaining the theory of whatever, scaring, or what are the 3 traits of scaring. And then Sully walks in with his jacket and goes, "Roar!" And then the professor goes, "Impressive, Sully. You're a Sullivan? Oh man." So, yeah. And then, I don't know, at some points it feels kind of slow. It's like, oh my god. And then it's fast paced. But again, I did not expect the direction it was going to go, where finally, when they went into the scare games, then they got accepted into Uzma Kappa, or actually kind of might force himself to be in the club or in the fraternity, because without being in a fraternity, he couldn't be in the scare games, and he was already at brink of failing. Again, I don't want to give away every little detail of the movie, but he was at brink of failing. He already got kicked out with Sully, and then the only way to get back was he made a wager with Hardscrabble that if he won the scare games, he would have been accepted back into the scare program. And then, Sully joined because okay, I'll be on a team. Again, I think Sully was embarrassed to be with Mike, but then at the end, they kind of rekindled their friendship, or at least started their friendship, because I don't think they've ever had a friendship before. But yeah, slowly they worked their way into being friends. It's nothing fast. It's not like, oh, you want to be friends. It's like, it actually takes a long time for them to really connect and bond together. But again, yeah. So I did not expect the whole Randall thing to happen. And also, the fact that Mike was such a bookworm, and yet Sully, just relied on his scares and, his big teeth and his game and his, getting down with the ladies or whatever, or, this kind of attitude that he's a Sullivan and he doesn't need to do any work to accomplish anything. And again, that also applies to the real world too. Some people think they don't have to work hard on anything, and they can just kind of accomplish stuff without even putting any work into it. So I feel like that's this kind of little attitude that he brought into Monsters U. Yet Mike was a bookworm, and again, it's showing that you need to have a combination of both. And being a bookworm is great, and also having experience in the real world is good too, because again, getting an A+ on their report card is fine, but how is that going to affect you in the real world when you actually have to go find a job? So I kind of like that aspect, but again, the movie took a few unexpected turns that were fine. I just didn't expect it to go that way, and that's exactly why I like Pixar, because of this kind of stuff they do, and the amount of work they put into the movie is just mind-blowing. And that's how they meet each other. I'm like, I did not expect it. I thought, Mike and Sully roommates, blah blah blah, but no. And the way that they portrayed Randall becoming or having a hatred towards Mike and Sully is good. It's kind of slow. At first, Sully gets into roar, omega roar, because, he's like a scare, he's the best scare ever. But then, Mike is too cocky. And when he goes, and fails all his tests and everything, he gets his roar, omega roar jacket taken away, and he starts to realize that, that scaring isn't everything. And then Mike also realizes that being a bookworm isn't everything either. That aspect of the story was nice, and it gives a nice lesson to the kids that you should study your books, but studying your books is going to get you an A+ in class, but in the real world, it takes experience, and not only, getting an A+ on a test and saying, yeah, I passed, whatever. For me, it'll be like music theory or something, because I'm a music major. Oh, look, I passed, keyboard 1. But in the real world, gotta have that experience in school to pass, and not just those A+. And I like the way that Monsters University portrayed that. Dean Hardscrabble. Let's talk about her first. Oh man, Dean Hardscrabble is mean. Now, we don't see much of her, but when we do see her, she's kind of this hidden personality. We don't know everything about her except that the fact that she was, well, we almost know nothing about her except that she was like, a champion scarer before. But we never see into much of her history. There's no flashbacks of Dean Hardscrabble. It's just like, she swoops in, everybody's like scared and they're like, fearful. Oh my god, it's Dean Hardscrabble. I think her name was Abigail Hardscrabble, because in the credits that's what it said. But yeah, but there is also this side of her that's a little bit, emotional. Especially when, or again, warning, when Mike and Sully go into the room, and then, they have enough power generated to actually go back to the monsters world. He's like, how did you do that? And Sully's like, I don't know, ask Mike. That's when you're kind of like, wow. Like, Mike actually accomplished something. He may not be, the scariest monster in the world by a mile, but he's fearless. And he has that something that he's not going to give up. And Dean Hardscrabble saw that, and she's like, wow. And then, oh my god, the old lady returns. Because when they were in the hazmat suits they walked in, they took them away. And the old lady's like, Wazowski. And she's like, I'm watching you. I'm always watching you. And I'm like, she's back. And then after that, everything starts tying in. Like I said, with nice tying at the end. But also, it does teach your kids a good lesson. Never to give up. Even if people are putting you down and all this crap, it's like, you just gotta keep going. You can't give up on your dreams and your hopes and aspirations. And it also teaches kids, you can't be so cocky. You can't be like, and then be like, yeah, I'm a Sullivan. That's right. It's like, it's not gonna get you anywhere. It got Sully somewhere far at the beginning. We got into Roar, Mega Roar, and the teacher was like, oh wow, look at this. This is a scare monster. But then, when it came to the finals and the actual, scare simulator, Sully's like, all I gotta do is just roar. And Dean Hardscrabble is like, no. And they actually have to know, they call it scare theory. It's like music theory, but they call it scare theory. It's kind of funny how they made fun, not made fun, but how fun it was for them to think of these new majors or whatever, or these new abilities or skills, because it's they have to know oh, what's the fear of spiders, and what kind of kids scare this way, and how do you scare a kid during Christmas, and Like there's all these different techniques that Mike reads about, and there's these like these theories that he knows about, and also he knows just how to say roar, and just because he has the loudest roar doesn't mean it's gonna get him anywhere. And Mike also practices roaring, but Mike knows everything. When the teacher asks him questions like C, spiders, C, B, A, correct. He's like, wow, and he keeps showing that A+, but again, it's showing you both sides of the story. How it can't be all about learning, and it can't be all about experience. It's got to be a mix of both. And that's kind of the lesson you do get out of it. The animation was beautiful, obviously. The hardscrabble looked as scary as she sounded. Just everything about her was, good. The looks, the scare, and the sound, the editing was good too. I was interested in that. Like the reverb in the when she first swooped in during the first class. I hope you're all properly inspired. I thought that was pretty good. Again, very unexpected ending. Like I said, I was afraid of how they were going to end it, and how it was going to tie in, because I'm not sure they were going to do a Monsters Inc. 2. Yeah, I would like them to do a story about Boo and how Boo grows into a teenager, and then eventually how the Monsters Inc. world collapses and monsters and humans start working together. And I actually was kind of going to write a short story when I was a little kid about that, but that's another story I don't want to get into. Yeah, I used to write sequels to all the Pixar movies, like Finding Nemo. I already wrote that one about him being caught by a bunch of fishermen and about to be eaten, and it's crazy. I'm a fanatic of Pixar. But anyways, thought they were going to do a Monsters Inc. 2, but Monsters University is good enough, and it does do a good job of prepping you for Monsters Inc. Like, if you watched Monsters University, and then you went right into Monsters Inc., I think it will be pretty flawless. If you watched like it in that order. It's just kind of weird how they did it. Now they did a prequel, and then the original. And I thought the original movie Monsters Inc. tried to really emphasize the monsters world, like scare, don't scare, instead of walk, don't walk. And just everything about the monsters world was really heavily based in the first movie. This movie showed a little bit of the inside of the factory, and when they broke in later. But this one really focused on really like showing you the colors, the vibrant colors of the university, and how when you comes in for the first time, Mike, and he's like, oh, wow, the Manchester University gate. Felt like all the design was great, and it really set up the setting, and then the bus and everything. I mean, it was great. But the factory Monsters Inc. is like it was. I like the scene when he was like a little kid, and he's like, "How do I become scared? And what do you have to say for yourself?" And how he snuck in. I felt like that was really good, because you can tell that all his life Mike was fearless. Like, he'd want to accomplish so many things, but everybody was trying to stop him. And I guess in real life that happens too. You want to do so much, but people keep stopping you or saying it's crap, and that your work sucks or whatever, your music sucks, no one's gonna listen to it or whatever. And then you just don't stop quitting. You just keep going at it until you get something. And that's what happened to Mike. Eventually, Mike got something out of it, and he became friends with Sully, and everything worked out through struggles. And I feel like it was one of those heartfelt movies, and yeah, I mean, that's how it is in real life. And even though it was a fictional movie, it does apply to some people's lives, and I feel like people can connect to it. Being in college right now, I saw Monsters Inc. When I was a little kid. That was the first DVD I ever put in my first DVD player. When the first DVD players were just coming out, I'm like, oh wow, look, it's a Monsters Inc. Oh, can we see that on DVD? And I saw that, and I'm like, you know what, I have to see this. It's been years. Was this as good as Toy Story 3? Can't compare it. It's separate. It's like separate. But this was different. But I think it was on the same level as Toy Story 3. I felt like it had a real good connection. Like, Toy Story 3 ended really well. And again, it was unexpected ending too. Because I didn't know what was going to happen. Same thing with this one. I'm like, what? Yeah. I thought the movie was over after like an hour and a half, but then I realized there was like another 30 minutes or so. And another thing, everybody left the theater, but I stayed because I read on the blogs that there is a scene at the end where the guy, at first, the little yellow slug was like, "Can't be late to class," and he goes, and he runs in slow motion, and then at the end, he finally makes it, and it's like, semester's over. So I kind of spoiled that for you guys too. Damn, I spoiled everything. Sorry, but I'm guessing most of you saw it. If you already did, I mean, if not, then oh well. It'll be less fun for you. I don't know.
I thought I could show everybody that Mike Wazowski is something special.
Just reach deep down and let the scary out.
Boys! Oh, scary.
And since I am, at some point in the future, going to be a score composer for a movie, or maybe a video game composer, I have no idea what I'm going to do exactly. Those are kind of kindling a little bit in the fire. But since I'm into music, I gotta review the music a little bit. I liked the music a lot, and it was pretty amazing because I like experimental music, and they were experimenting with like marching band music and like New Orleans music. I kind of liked that. There was one theme. Now they always rave that Randy Newman composed the music. He did, but in the credits there was a lot more people credited, you know, for music than just Randy Newman. The score orchestration was by Randy Newman, but it didn't specifically say music composed by, it just says score orchestrated by. So I'm not exactly sure if he took a theme of a song and redid it, but still, the music was amazing and I can't complain about the music. It was very good and it fit. The big thing is it fit and it wasn't distracting to the audience, to the viewers like me. I wasn't distracted, it went really well, and the music was there when it needed to be there. In the end, I give this movie a 5 out of 5 stars, or in my case, I'd give it a 5 out of 5 rockstar fingers. I don't know. That's what I'm going to grade it on. All my movie reviews are going to be like 5 out of 5 rockstar fingers, or whatever. Because it was that good, and yeah. If I could give it more, I would, but got 100%. It was amazing. Can't wait for Finding Dory to come out. Can't wait for Toy Story 4, even though I think it's kind of a mistake. But whatever. Sometimes Pixar can amaze us. And I'm interested to see the originals coming out soon. Now, the Blue Umbrella, I'd give that one a 5 out of 5 rockstar fingers or stars or whatever, because that was amazing. That was Pixar kind of experimenting, I guess, and what they decided to do was to experiment with the real world and the animated world. So they kind of shot real footage, but then they kind of animated this blue umbrella that was, you know, just walking through town and he was staring at all the buildings, and then he found this red umbrella that he fell in love with, and you guys gotta see that for yourself. It's amazing. I might find a clip on YouTube and show a little bit of it to you guys as I'm talking here, but yeah, I give that one a 5 out of 5 stars too, and I think that that's kind of putting in our brains that Pixar is thinking about incorporating this technology. Now, John Lasseter also was the executive producer for Tangled and Wreck-It Ralph and all this stuff. John Lasseter's everything. John Lasseter was kind of the stepping stone for Pixar. He was kind of the ground. He's a grounded man for years in Pixar. From when it first started in 1980s, he was there. He was the one that started the animation, and obviously he's there now. He's going to continue. There's a lot of new faces in the animation studio, but he's been there for years, and I think he's an amazing artist, and I always cherish Pixar for the hard work they do. Also, I wanted to be respectful at the theaters, and I wasn't going to record any part of the movie, and I wanted to really I didn't want to download or rip the movie off. I really wanted to support Pixar and go see it for myself. But again, Monsters University, 5 out of 5 rockstar fingers and stars, and Blue Umbrella, 5 out of 5 rockstars fingers and stars also. So in the end, collectively they get a score of 10, and both of them get 100. You guys have to go see the movie if you haven't yet. If not, you can wait for it and see it on Blu-ray. I did it, like I said before, I didn't make it for the 3D, but people told me that it wasn't really worth the 3D anyways, because it wasn't that amazing in 3D, but I guess I'll never know. Also, in my opinion, I think that Toy Story, Monsters, Inc., and Finding Nemo were some of the best works of Pixar. And if they stick with those, I think they're going to get a lot of viewership. I like the fact that they're original and they experiment, but those three franchises really brought them the money and really connected. And you want to see more of the world, you want to see more of Finding Nemo, you want to see more of the Monsters world. And that's also what I really, really like about Pixar. And I hope they continue with Finding Dory. Anyways, this is Prototype Vlogs 2013. Subscribe for more vlogs and more movie reviews and just random vlogs. And I might have a few surprises for you in the future. So subscribe to see more of me. And I'm not selfish in any way.
I have an extra toe! Not with me, of course.
And everyone's saying I miss Boo. But guess what? You should have gone in knowing that there wasn't going to be any Boo. Because this is a freaking prequel and not a sequel. Because I've been reading the comments on some of these reviews. They're like, where's Boo? What the hell, man? It's like, dude. It's like, what the hell, man? There is no Boo. And if you didn't come in with that mindset, well then, screw you. Because you should have known that Boo wasn't in the movie. I came in with that mindset. And I'm glad they introduced fresh characters like Art, and that old sales guy, and Squishy, and then the fact that Squishy's mom got hooked up with the salesman. I like new characters. I don't need Boo again. Boo is fine because she gets introduced, but there were still those interesting school kids when they got stuck in the human world for a little bit. Yeah, that was interesting. There were some new kids, and we don't need Boo. But again, I'm not going to give away too many details because you guys should see it for yourself. But yes, no Boo, but still, new characters, and it was amazing. It was fresh. Okay, even though there were some old characters, there were some new characters, and that's exactly what I liked too. Oh yeah, and unexpectedly, Mike and Sully actually never finished Monsters University. They were expelled, and then they went to work at Monsters Incorporated. But the fact is, they never graduated Monsters University, which was unexpected. But sometimes that's the real world, and that's real life. So that kind of blew my mind to pieces when I finished the movie. I'm like, wait, so they never finished school?